we have the lineup for the two semi-finals, an all-European affair, Vladimir Samsonov against Timo Boll, and then we have an all-Chinese affair, Ma Long against Zhu Jin. And the players now marching into the Echo Arena, led by one of the officials in blue, Vladimir Samsonov from Belarus, 36 years of age, currently ranked number 14 in the world, but he has been number 1 in the world. His opponent, playing in the red and black shirt, from Germany, Timo Boll. Timo Boll, 31 years of age, number 7 in the world at the moment, but again, he has been ranked at number 1. So two former number 1s in the world playing against each other. 5 times European champion Timo Boll, and indeed Vladimir Samsonov, 3 times European championship winner. So fair to say these two players have dominated European table tennis for many years, and here they are playing against each other in the semi-final. What a quarter-final Vladimir Samsonov has against Chuang Chi Yuan. 6 match points before he eventually progressed to this stage. The crowd were on the edge of their seats. Rebecca Bergfeldt in charge of affairs for this final. The players will be out at the table shortly. They'll have a 2-minute practice, an opportunity to groove in the shots, get the feet moving, and then this semi-final will commence. I'm joined in the commentary box by Ian Marshall. Ian, a former England coach, England team manager, and currently the Director of Media Affairs for the International Table Tennis Federation. And I suspect a person who's seen these two play on numerous occasions.
Well, very much so, Don. Thank you for the introduction. And of course, we've seen them play several times in this very event. And one of the most memorable occasions was back in Liège, going back to 2006, I believe, when Vladimir Samsonov actually beat Timo Boll in the first stage of proceedings. Timo Boll went through in second place in the group to the main draw, and then one after another he beat the Chinese trio of Wang Liqin, Ma Lin and Wang Hao to claim the title. Quite remarkable performance. Very even between the two players until I would say the last 12 to 18 months, when Timo Boll really has had the advantage over Vladimir Samsonov. Two contrasting styles, the very smooth, elegant play of Samsonov, the master of control, the master of blocking the ball and absorbing the pace, and Timo Boll dynamic on the first 3 attacks, especially from the forehand. Few players in the world impart as much rotation, as much topspin on the first 3 attacks as Timo Boll. That very quick action that you see in shot now. So my rose is just with Timo Boll, but I think we're in for a top-class table tennis match. Both very open players, tremendous rallies await on.
And the 2-minute pre-match practice will be coming to its conclusion shortly. Timo Boll, of course, left-handed, and Vladimir Samsonov, right-handed. And I think you summed it up very well there, Ian. This is going to be a case of the consistent backhand and forehand topspins of Samsonov, and nobody's more consistent than Timo Boll, just having that little bit more explosive power. Will of course be the best of 7 games, each game to 11 points, and indeed the players now nod to each other. They're both happy, they're both raring to go in this first men's singles semi-final. It's the first game. It's Vladimir Samsonov from Belarus, the number 14 player in the world, 36 years of age, who will serve at the start of this first men's singles semi-final. service from Samsonov. Second bounce would have been on or around the baseline. Boll not sure whether to play over the table or away from the table. And Samsonov straight in, as indeed he is again on that second point. The short serve, the topspin behind the serve. And Samsonov will be delighted with the first 2 points. But of course now it's Timo Boll with his 2 serves to come.
Round 3.
The reverse action service from Timo Boll, superbly read by Samsonov, who, as we can see on the action replay, gets in with that strong topspin on the diagonal. Perfect start for the player from Belarus. Excellent flick from Timo Boll. Took the ball top of the bounce, good use of the elbow and wrist. And he just held the wrist back a little bit to guide it out wide to Samsonov's forehand.
Noticeably on start of this match, start of this opening game, Vladimir Samsonov was very, very much concentrated his first attacks towards Timo Boll's backhand. That is not to say that Timo Boll's backhand is weak by any means, it's just that his forehand is so fierce.
Quite get his racket sufficiently over the top of the ball, Timo Boll. The ball off the end of the table. Samsonov leads 5-2. Samsonov attempting the short push returner service. A lot of skill with that shot. A lot of feeling in the hand required. And there we see, having tried to touch the ball tight, the finesse shot. Samsonov equally capable of then exploding with the powerful shots. The forehand topspin down the line there, winning the point. Ball there, as you can see very well on the replay, just catches the top edge of the racket, flies off the end of the table. Great forehand topspin from Boll. Very brave. There he is, stepping around the backhand. He's way out on the backhand side of the table. Plays the forehand topspin down the line. It just catches the net, hence the apology from Boll. Excellent touch again from Samsonov. He touches the ball back tight. Samsonov playing very well. He'll be delighted. 7-5 up. 6 points have progressed. Players entitled to towel down. Both do. Wonderful skills there from Samsonov. First he absorbed the power of Boll, and then he just lengthened his stroke, as we see on the replay. There's the block. Then a little bit more power, as you can see there. Outright winner. Samsonov 8-5.
Once Timo Boll's let loose with that quick, rapid-fire forehand, then arguably he's the most dangerous player in the world, and Samsonov has just managed to keep him quiet in this opening game. Again, Samsonov, he attacks the backhand of Timo Boll at every opportunity. And of course, a player with great skill, he can vary the rotation on the table tennis ball, vary the degrees of topspin.
Again, excellent return from Samsonov, 4 game points. Just caught the edge of the table, the forehand topspin from Boll. 1 game point saved. Finger in the air, just acknowledging his good luck. But Samsonov still with 3 game points, 10-7. And the flick from Boll off the side of the table. Vladimir Samsonov takes the first game, 11 points to 7. And Ian, I thought Samsonov looked in great shape there. His touch was good, and he topspin very consistently.
Well, I think you highlight the important part of that game. The touch, the feeling, the control was extremely good. And very, very rarely did Timo Boll have the chance to execute that fast forehand for which he's renowned. And the feeling and the way that Samsonov can absorb the power of a player, absorb the topspins, and then turn it to his advantage is quite remarkable. And that's the skill that we've seen now for some over 15 to 20 years since he was the European cadet champion. That's for players under the age of 15. Everything very, very fluent in the way that he plays, and also his balance is absolutely outstanding. So that's exactly the start that Vladimir Samsonov would have hoped for, having in the last 2 or 3 encounters always been beaten by Timo Boll.
And so, having spent a couple of minutes with their coaches, Samsonov actually without a coach, Jorg Roskopf, the former European champion, the coach in the corner of Timo Boll, but the players now back out at the table for the second game. Boll wins the first point. Good backhand topspin from Samsonov, came up the back of the ball. Wasn't going too fast, but it was low over the net. A heavy topspin on it. Again, Samsonov in with the first aggressive topspin. Plays this one down the line. That was super play by Timo Boll. The touch was excellent. Got to read the spin, and you have to have the touch to return it tight. And then he follows in with a well-placed forehand topspin straight into the stomach of Vladimir Samsonov. 2 points each. Excellent block from Timo Boll. In fact, it was almost a drive. He absorbed the speed, put a little bit more elbow and wrist into it. Out wide to Samsonov's forehand. Of course, that's the way it works with a left-hander against a right-hander. That's where Boll is so good. Stepping around the backhand to play the forehand topspin, sprays it around the table. Very difficult to predict where he's going to place the ball. And so Samsonov with his 2 serves, down 2-4.
It's the action, the arm action of Timo Boll on that forehand is so very, very fast indeed.
Right. 3-4.
Again, Samsonov's getting in behind his serve extremely well, as opposed to doing the absorbing of the speed and spin. Samsonov quite frequently the first one to get in with the strong topspin. Looks so easy. Let's see on the replay, so smooth, the backhand. There it is, elbow, a little bit of wrist, and that was a super angle out wide to Boll's forehand. Samsonov there played the chop block, came down on the ball. Boll was equal to it. And at the halfway stage of the second game, 5 points each. Again, classic Samsonov here, absorbing the top spins from Boll. Then just launches himself a little bit into the forehand topspin himself, wins the point. Certainly the player from Belarus is bossing this semi-final in the early stages.
Just speaking to Timo Boll yesterday after he played Adrien Matinet from France. Timo went 3 games to 0 ahead, then he lost the next 2 before winning the 6th game, and he was telling me that he was having problems trying to keep the service short. And perhaps that could be the key, because certainly the control of Vladimir Samsonov in the early part of this match has been absolutely exquisite. But there we see it yet again. Tremendous touch return, contact made with the ball before the peak of the bounce, so you can just touch the ball back short. Just a little movement of the wrist.
That was a very well constructed point by Timo Boll. Very cleverly moved the ball around the table until the forehand smash that we just saw there on the replay eventually won him the point. So Samsonov now leads 8-6, and it's Samsonov with his 2 serves to come. Again, Samsonov's in behind the service with the first topspin. Boll was trying to keep it tight. He didn't quite read the spin. The ball popped up. Samsonov in straight away. Boll will be disappointed there. It's what he likes to do, step round the backhand side of the table. There he goes to play his trademark forehand topspin down the line. Just over hits it. 4 game points for Vladimir Samsonov. Again, the angles were exquisite, and there's no way that one's coming back. A little bit of side spin to boot to make it even wider to Samsonov's backhand. 1 game point saved, but again, it's game point for Samsonov. What a forehand topspin. Coming around the inside of the ball. There we see it. There's the first one to the middle, and then we'll just see the side spin now. And there's the ball angled out wide to Samsonov's forehand. Wonderful play by 5 times European champion Timo Boll.
That's an incredible record. 5 times. Nobody near him. And maybe in a few weeks' time he'll retain his title. Who knows?
But there it is. Vladimir Samsonov takes the second game 11-8. He won the first game 11-7. And it's the 36-year-old from Belarus who's in firm control of this first men's singles semi-final.
It's worrying when you say 36 years old, because the first men's World Cup I went to was in France, and Vladimir Samsonov in 1995 was in fact the reserve. He had to turn up as the 17th player. He wasn't in the tournament. Then he played the following year in Nîmes in 1996, and from then on virtually been ever present in this tournament. Both Timo Boll and Vladimir Samsonov did have good results, relatively speaking, at the Olympic Games. I know that Timo Boll surprisingly went out to Adrian Krisan, but then in the team event he did beat Janjika, who'd gained the Olympic gold medal earlier in the proceedings. And in the men's singles event, Vladimir Samsonov actually led Janjika by 3 games to 2 before losing 4-3. So I think both can take positives from the results against the man who is the greatest player at the moment.
The players back at the table for the third game, and there he is in blue, Vladimir Samsonov. He's in charge. He leads by 2 games to 0. The long fast serve down the line from Samsonov. Boll was equal to it. Good backhand topspin on the diagonal, as we'll see here on the replay. First point to Germany. And Boll's come out in this third game. Looks as though he's up the ante a little bit. very positive, very quick to get in now. Looks as though he's not going to be quite as passive as he has been in the first 2 games.
Well, I think the difference, Don, has been the feeling, short return of serve, where Vladimir Samsonov in this game so far has been the master.
Samsonov there, clenched fist, punches the air. He's clearly determined to get this semi-final over if he can. That was back to the old Samsonov of the first 2 games. Excellent return, in with the first topspin. But the service on that occasion from Samsonov drifted long. Boll in with the topspin. And point to Germany, 4-1. Good start for Timo Boll. The push from Samsonov was a little bit loose, popped up quite high, and Timo Boll now increases his lead, 5-1. And of course, every 6 points the players are entitled to towel down. Both players do so. Boll with his 2 serves to come.
And Timo Boll's much more active this game, in quicker, maybe just prepared to take the odd risk by moving round the backhand, but certainly more positive, attacking much more quickly. And having lost the first 2 games, now totally in command of the third.
Slightly puzzled look on the face of Vladimir Samsonov. And certainly a complete transformation, having lost the first 2 games 11-7, 11-7. Timo Boll leads in the 3rd game 8 points to 1. And I suspect the advice from the coach in the corner, Jorg Roskopf, former European champion, and indeed a left-handed topspin player, is you've got to get out there, you've got to be more positive, you've got to look to get in, to be more active, as you mentioned earlier, Ian, and that's exactly what he's done. And look at the score, 9-1 for Timo Boll.
Well, not only is he moving faster, he's attacking quicker as well, attacking over the table quicker.
It's always a pleasure to watch that backhand topspin, so smooth, so elegant, and like all great sportsmen, makes it look so easy. 9-2, Boll in the lead. 8 game points. And that's a perfect response from Timo Boll, having lost the first 2 games. Wins the 3rd game 11-2. And now it's 2 games to 1 for Vladimir Samsonov.
Well, that was certainly a rejuvenated Timo Boll. He was fast on his feet, but most importantly, he was quicker on the attack, attacking very much at the peak of the bounce, attacking over the table and giving the elegant strokes of Vladimir Samsonov little time to respond. And I'm quite sure that those are very, very stern words from Jorg Roskopf, who himself is a former winner of this tournament. They see a very, very active Timo Boll, and very much the master of this reverse service, where the ball in fact rotates in the opposite direction to what you may expect from the forehand service. Maybe in this next game with Vladimir Samsonov being exposed out wide to the forehand, maybe see Vladimir Samsonov just move a little more to the centre of the table to receive service, and maybe use the backhand service from the centre of the table to reduce the angles that Timo Boll can obtain.
And so the players back at the table for the 4th game, and this is a pivotal moment for Vladimir Samsonov. He bossed the first 2 games, won them 11-7, 11-7. But the momentum certainly changed in the 3rd game. Timo Boll winning 11-2. So can Samsonov regain the initiative? And he's taken the first point.
It's a tremendous response from Vladimir Samsonov. You've highlighted that smooth, very stylish backhand topspin from Vladdy, and well, it's a joy to watch.
First point in the 3rd game for Boll, 2-1. Samsonov in the lead with his 2nd serve coming up. A well-placed forehand and backhand topspins by Samsonov. Great retrieving by Timo Boll, but it was the power of Samsonov that eventually won the point. So Samsonov leads 3-1. Timo Boll with his 2 serves.
No, good control, good blocking from Vladimir Samsonov, but of course once he's forced away from the table, then Timo Boll is the odds-on favourite.
It's a great backhand block from Boll. The backhand on the diagonal from the left-hander goes out wide to Samsonov's forehand. Despite a desperate lunge, Samsonov can only get the edge of his racket on the ball. And after the first 6 points, it's 3 each. And as they're fully entitled to do so, the players towel down. The ITTF introduced a rule that you can only use the towel every 6 points. It's been well received. Prevents players from toweling down for tactical reasons every point to slow it down. A well-placed forehand topspin by Timo Boll there into the body of Samsonov. And certainly Timo Boll a lot more active now, hunting the forehand topspin when he can.
Well, maybe slightly fortunate from Vladimir Samsonov, but the ability to absorb the top spins of Timo Boll is quite remarkable. Always Vladimir Samsonov seems to have that extra split second of time.
Smile on the face of Timo Boll, acknowledges his good fortune, but incredible retrieving by Vladimir Samsonov.
Yeah, it's great retrieving, but I'll venture to suggest that once he's back from the table, he's never won a point.
Germany leads 6-4, and you just sense that the momentum changing here slowly but surely. Timo Boll is on the ascendancy. But a perfect response from Samsonov, steps round the backhand, strong forehand topspin on the diagonal. And Germany now with a 1-point lead.
Well, we mentioned the ability of Vladimir Samsonov to absorb the pace of topspin play. Well, there we saw an example from Timo Boll, able to do just the same. And of course you'll notice that Timo just raises his hand. In fact, this morning in the local hotel, the two guys had breakfast together.
rally. Samsonov got in first. Boll responded well, got himself back into the rally. But the spinny backhand topspin from Samsonov pays dividends. Didn't go for pace there, brushed up the back of the ball, went for spin. And that's a great point for Samsonov. Tactically, he took the initiative at the first opportunity, trying to get his topspins into Boll's backhand. Of course, Boll is at his best playing forehands from the backhand side, so you have to go out wide to the forehand occasionally to stop him running round. 7 points each.
Good response from Timo Boll. And I wonder, when we look back at this table tennis match, if we're not now going to see the most important 4-5 points of the whole contest. Very low stance, wide feet, Timo Boll. A little unusual, but in very, very quickly with the forehand. Service just drifted that fraction long, and Timo Boll seized the opportunity.
And so Boll now in the driving seat, leads 9-7 and has his 2 serves to come.
Samsonov there doing remarkably well. One of Timo Boll's forehand topspins caught the top of the net. There it is.
Samsonov reacts incredibly quickly to return that one, but it's Boll now with 3 game points. And this would, if he can convert it into a victory, level this semi-final, 2 games each, 10-7. And again, it's the net cord that helps Germany's Timo Boll. And again, a sportsman that he is, acknowledges his good fortune, but the end result is that this first men's singles semi-final is evenly poised at 2 games each.
Well, yes, and these two could well meet many, many times this year. Both play for clubs in the European Champions League. Timo Boll plays for the famous German club Borussia Düsseldorf, where, of course, Georg Roscoff played for many, many years, and Vladimir Samsonov, well, he plays for the Russian club Orenburg, who are the reigning European champions. So this, for the table tennis season 2012-2013, could be one of many, many encounters between the two, and absolutely evenly balanced, and all the time, whichever player's been forced away from the table, well, the player who's been forced away has lost the point. Just a little bit fortunate for Timo Boll at the end of the 4th game, but fortune favours the brave, and he was in very, very quickly with that electric forehand.
And so the players now back at the table for the 5th game, 2 games each. And the 36-year-old Belarusian led by 2 games to 0. There he is. He has the serve at the beginning of the 5th game. Just begin to sense now in the topspin to topspin rallies when they're both away from the table. It's Timo Boll who's winning the majority of points. That's a fantastic service from Vladimir Samsonov. Boll was expecting the short serve. He was leaning over the table, he was stepping in, and then suddenly a long fast serve into his body. Changed the racket hand there, Timo Boll. There he goes. Technique with the right hand, not quite as good as the technique with his left hand, but nevertheless almost made the topspin with his right hand. 2-1, Samsonov leads.
And of course, seeing that done, we all sadly remember the late Andre Gruber, who of course was right-handed, but he could execute an electric left-hand topspin.
Again, Samsonov in with the first topspin, and it's Samsonov who wins the point. See that again on the replay. Top edge of Boll's racket. Ball flies off the end of the table. Samsonov 3-2. Again, Samsonov forced away from the table. It looks good, but as you've pointed out, Ian, he's yet to win a point when he's drifted away from the table. 3 points each. Players toweling down after the first 6 points, composing themselves, thinking through their tactics.
Well, there we are with Vladimir Samsonov. If we can keep strong first attacks into Timo Boll's backhand, then we can prevent the forehand being released, and perhaps 80% of the time concentrate on the backhand if you can. Easier said than done. My word, in very, very quickly indeed. And that is the strength of Timo Boll, that very, very quick forehand action. And that's what's brought him such great success.
Excellent play by Boll. The long fast serve into his backhand didn't catch him by surprise this time. He reacted with the backhand topspin. And Germany lead 5-4. That was a great return of service. The second bounce was just over the baseline. Boll read it well, managed to play a strong backhand topspin, went on to win the point. And Boll now with his 2 serves to come. Just to remind you, it's the best of 7 games. First player to win 4 games through to the final. And I must say, that's looking more and more like Timo Boll. 2 games to 0 down, and now leading 7-4 in the 5th at 2 games each.
Now, we've mentioned how strong Timo Boll is from the forehand on the first attack. Well, that first backhand attack was no mean stroke. Outstanding.
4-8.
And now perhaps just the touch deserted Vladimir Samsonov a little. As you said, Don, the momentum just swinging in favour of Timo Boll. Of course, both of them European youth champions at junior and at cadet level.
The umpire just asking the players to keep play going. Boll points out they're entitled to towel down every 6 points. She felt that was a little bit too long. And it's good to see the umpires keeping the players on their toes, keeping play moving fairly quickly, not too quickly. But meanwhile, Boll 9-4 in the lead.
9-5.
Tried to topspin that ball from underneath the table, as we see there on the replay. Just lifts it a fraction too much. But Boll with a 4-point lead, and with his 2 serves to come. 9-5.
9-6.
Excellent touch return from Samsonov. Read the spin, got the racket angle absolutely perfect. But it's the forehand topspin from Boll into the body of Samsonov that gives the German player 4 game points. return from Boll just a fraction too high. He thought there was a little bit more backspin on the ball, so he lifted. There wasn't the backspin, so the ball popped up. And Samsonov's in straight away. 1 game point save, but 3 more remain. And the backhand topspin from Boll secures the 5th game. Timo Boll winning 11-7, and now the German player leads by 3 games to 2.
Well, he's now into a good rhythm with his play, and I think as the match progressed, his return of service feeling for the table tennis ball has improved, and certainly he's been the quicker player to attack. That means he's attacked over the table, attacked at the peak of the bounce, and given Vladimir Samsonov only minimal time to react. Now, of course, over the last 10 years, I suspect we've seen in the arena, in Jörg Roscoff, the coach, and the 2 players, Timo Boll and Vladimir Samsonov, the dominant players in European table tennis, since perhaps the retirement of the great Swedes in Jan-Ove Wallner, Peter Karlsson. And I can't say the retirement of Jürgen Persson because he's still playing, but here we have in shot now 3 of Europe's greatest players of the past 10 years, with now the German player who perhaps didn't play his best in this tournament, Dmitry Ovtcharov, joining the elite group alongside Michael Mays. So the best of Europe on offer.
And so the players ready to start the 6th game. The gentleman on screen there in blue won the first 2, but it's the gentleman with the service, Timo Boll, that won the next 3. He's now 1 game away from a place in the final, and he's taken the first point. What a point! Again, Samsonov forced away from the table. He's yet to win a point when he's been forced away from the table, but he almost did on that occasion. But 5 times European champion Timo Boll. Look at the placement of that forehand topspin. Great tactics, great rally. And Jörg Roscoff, the German coach, will be delighted with the situation. 2 games to 0 down. Now 2-1 after that wonderful backhand from Vladimir Samsonov. And in the background, Jörg Roscoff, former European champion himself. Quite interesting in that Vladimir Samsonov, I know he's very experienced at 36 years of age, but here without a coach.
Well, that's right. The coaches from Belarus this week have been in Belgium, the Flanders Open, part of the ITTF Euro Africa circuit, and I think they think maybe Vlad is old enough to look after himself. But as Vladimir Samsonov said to me about the role of the coach, he said, well, look, you know, I can't change the way I play. I can't suddenly become a defender, and it's just nice to have somebody in my corner who wants me to win.
Boll leads 3-2. You can see there the clenched fist punching the air. Despite losing 3 games on the run, Samsonov still fighting for every point, and so he should. This semi-final, I'm sure, has still got a few more twists and turns to come. And there you see the fist, the determination. Super rally. Great play by both players. The touch, the feeling. Chop block there from Samsonov. Boll has to return that one from ankle height. And then it's the forehand topspin drive from Samsonov that wins the point. 4-3 for Belarus. The flick just off the end of the table. Samsonov didn't quite get over the ball sufficiently. And certainly Timo Boll has made a remarkable recovery. Remember, he was 2 games to 0 down.
Now there, Timo Boll, that is absolutely trademark Timo Boll. Timo Boll at his best. Very, very fast to attack. Quick forehand stroke. Good use of shoulder, elbow and wrist, all coordinating perfectly.
Just caught the top of the net. Samsonov apologising for his good fortune. There it is, just a slight deviation in the trajectory of the ball, but it's enough to win the point. And at the halfway stage in this 6th game, it's 5 points each. Samsonov with his 2 serves. Again, the player who drifts away from the table is the one who loses the point. It's only a marginal difference, but it just gives the opponent a little bit more time. The ball taking that little bit longer because it has to travel a greater distance. Samsonov 6-5, second serve coming up.
Left, 5.
4.
5, 7.
Brave serve, clever variation, long fast serve into the backhand of Boll, and Samsonov opens up a 2-point lead. There's the service action, the last minute extra acceleration of the racket, and the service going long and fast into the backhand of Boll. 5-7 Bolls, 2 serves coming up.
6, 7.
Of course, neither player has yet taken a timeout. And I wonder if Boll levels whether Vladimir Samsonov will think about that.
Good spinny forehand topspin from Boll. Couldn't quite get the power he needed, so he brushed up the back of the ball, went for spin rather than speed. And that was clever tactics from Timo Boll. 7 points each as we move towards the business end of the 6th game.
Now, having made that mistake, surely Samsonov will take a timeout.
Indeed he does. Well predicted by my co-commentator Ian Marshall. And each player is entitled to 1 timeout during the match. And the timeout is a 1-minute break. It gives the players a chance to think through their tactics. And in the case of where one player has the momentum, that momentum can be broken by taking a break in play. But there we have Timo Boll taking advice from Jörg Roskopf, and that must give him a little bit of confidence going to the corner of a coach who's won this tournament as a player, who's a European champion, a world doubles champion. And indeed, it is Timo Boll who leads 8-7 as the players make their way back to the table to restart this 6th game. It's Samsonov with his 2nd service.
Left, 7, 8.
That all went wrong with the service. It was long, but it wasn't fast enough. It was neither short nor long, and Timo Boll made Vladimir Samsonov pay the price. He was in with the topspin straight away, and you have to be backing the German player now. 9-7 in the lead with his 2 serves to come. But he just mistimes that backhand topspin. It catches the top of the net, flicks off the end of the table. There we see it on the replay, misses by a fraction. Another millimetre higher, it would have cleared the net. Such is the margin between winning and losing at this level. But the backhand topspin down the line from Timo Boll gives him 2 game points and indeed 2 match points. A further 6 points have progressed, so both players are currently using the towel. There's Boll composing himself, 1 point away from a place in the final. One match point saved with that powerful forehand topspin from Samsonov. Get another chance to see that on the replay. Great forehand topspin wide to Boll's backhand, but still Germany's Timo Boll with a match point. And that was a great serve. Boll had to change his mind. He was going to topspin, then he realised the second bounce would probably be on the white line. He had to readjust, play over the table, and the hesitation caused the error. It's now alternate serving. First player to win 2 clear points.
10-11.
And that was slightly fortunate for Boll. Again, he was looking to get him with a topspin. He had to change to make the push. He got a very fortuitous angle out wide to Samsonov's backhand. So will it be third time lucky for Timo Boll? It's his 3rd match point. Yes, it is. Germany's Timo Boll takes the 6th game 12-10. He was 2 games to 0 down. He played some fantastic table tennis. Won 4 consecutive games, and it's Timo Boll who we'll see later on in the men's singles final. Well done, Germany.
So Timo Boll puts his place in the final. A fantastic all-European encounter there. Who will join him in the final? We'll find out straight away. 2 Chinese players ready to take to the field of play, Ma Long and Xu Xin.
There's Boll playing the ball ankle high, but it's the forehand topspin, the power from Samsonov that wins the point. And certainly the elegance, the flowing backhand and forehand topspins from Samsonov, as we see here on the replays, dominated the first 2 games, but then it was the explosive power of the player on screen there that eventually overcame the elegance, the brilliance of Vladimir Samsonov.